welcome to the Bearded Bro Show podcast. I am one half your host, Dustin, and we're forever joined by
Trav, as always. How's it going, guys? You know, it's really weird because it really actually feels like a long time ago whenever we recorded last. I don't know why. It just feels so long ago.
It does. It definitely does. I mean, we are recording this on a Friday, which is like something that we never do because normally our episode for this week would be out either today or tomorrow. So, yeah.
Yeah, just some change of plans, but you know, it's yeah. It would be kind of nice to get a really extreme head start, though.
Yeah, we kind of took a little unintentionally kind of took a week off, which I mean it kind of worked out too, because I I say this like every other episode. I got a new job, still doing the same stuff I'm doing, just for a better company, making a lot more money. So yeah, that's all. Like this was my first week on it, so it was kind of nice to just kind of take that break away from creating content and just focusing on work and trying to make as much money as possible.
So that other one you had, it just had to use the internet and all that, it just didn't work out?
What happened with that was I think the company was very ill-prepared to work from home, and there was a lot of issues and a lot of lack of communication. So what kept happening is they kept bouncing me around to like different departments, but they weren't communicating that with HR. So it got to a point where I did like a week of all this stuff, and then when it came down to like really get into it and really dive into it, I didn't have the same programs that the people I was with had. And they were like, okay, well, you know, it could be a couple days. We're going to get everything situated. And by that time, I was so frustrated with everything. And then they're like, oh, it could be like a week now. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to move on to something else because I'm not going to just sit around and wait, you know, like, because I had issues with them starting out too, where they kept bouncing me around between different people and there was no communication. So I kind of took that as a sign as maybe that place wasn't the best place for me to be. But I have since found a much better place working from home, making a lot more money. I can make upwards of $36 an hour and up to $750 a week in bonuses. So
That's crazy.
Yes, very, very, very good money. So I was very fortunate to get this one. But yeah, started my first week and I really like it. So,
well, you know, onwards and upwards, man. Like I feel like everything you're getting and everything that you are upgrading to is somehow a better step. So I mean,
and here's the best part about it.
It's something.
The first company, I had to use my own personal computer. Whereas this new company, they provided me with an entire desktop. I mean, like monitor, mouse, keyboard, camera, everything, tower. Like they completely provided me with everything I need. So I'm not using my personal system anymore, which is great. Also, I thought this was pretty cool. It's a pretty big company. I'm not going to disclose where I work on here, obviously, for obvious reasons. But they have a lot of like affiliations with big companies. So actually 30 days after my employment day, I'm actually eligible to get DirecTV and their highest package completely free for my lifetime with the company.
Nice.
So like their $200 something package, I get completely free. The only thing I would pay for is if I added it to another TV. So say like I put in my TV in the living room, that's free. Now say like Tristan and I wanted it in our bedroom or each in the kids' bedroom, I would only pay $7 per extra box. That's it. So really, like I get the NFL Sunday ticket completely free. Their highest package. I get HBO and HBO Max completely free for my life with the company. A lot of really good benefits. So I literally get, I think I did the math. I think I get like, with everything included, I mean, the NFL Sunday pass or the NFL Sunday ticket alone is like $400 for the entire season. I get that free.
Nice.
So I'm getting close to $1,000 worth of stuff completely free. So like, why not take advantage of that? You know, Trista was like, She's like, we don't need TV. We're not going to watch it. And I was like, but if you
I know,
have
right?
that,
But it's just like, well, it's a bonus though. If I
yeah,
want to
like
just flip through some channels.
that's the thing. Like, yeah, you say you're not going to use it until it's in front of your fucking face, and then you're going to be fucking filling up the DVR. Like, I know it's going to happen. You would watch it if you had it, and I mean, like, it's free. Like, why not? If I have to pay like $7 or like $20, depending on how many boxes we get, like that's only $20. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It's not like a big deal. So I guess we'll see. There's a couple things I want to talk about.
Screaming, yelling.
We're gonna scream and
What is
yell.
Steve Carell? Oh yeah, loud noises. Couldn't remember what it was.
Loud noises. But a couple things I want to talk about. Trav knows about one. The second thing I want to talk about, he might know about. I don't know if he does know about it. I don't know how much he knows about the situation.
I've slept since then, so who knows?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Tell me about it, man. My brain has been fucking fried. But the first thing is something I actually sent Trav on Facebook just to kind of, touch base on how good the disc golf community is again. But it's like more than disc golf at this point, I guess, because it involved a big YouTuber who is also a professional disc golfer. When I say big YouTuber, I mean like 2.2 million subscribers. Brody Smith. He got really big off Ultimate Frisbee and doing trick shots. He's done videos with Dude Perfect and like just all kinds of stuff. He's a very, very well-known person in YouTube. I'm sure you guys have watched his Frisbee trick shot videos back in the day. I mean, like, if you were big into Dude Perfect when they started, like, you've definitely heard of Brody Smith. Anyways, a guy in the disc golf community who happens to be a part of the Brody Smith Collectors Group page that I'm in on Facebook, recently lost his wife. And right now he's a single dad raising 2 young girls. And it's kind of one of those things, too, before I get more into it. Like, you could think because, you didn't get the PlayStation 5 or the Series X, like, you're so fucking mad and your life is so bad because you can't get the newest things coming out. But then you got to, like, kind of take a step back and realize, like, there's people actually going through it. Like, that guy literally just lost his wife. Like, out of the blue.
Yeah.
So it really just goes to show, man, like, I promise, just because you couldn't get the fucking new Xbox or PlayStation, your life's not bad at all. I promise. There's people out there really going through it, and let that be an eye-opener for you. But anyways, there was a GoFundMe for it, and Brody Smith, again, 2.2 million subscribers, shared this guy's GoFundMe link on every social media platform he has. To hundreds of thousands of people. And he kind of took it a step further. He could have just shared the link and been done with it. But he decided to go into his personal collection and take a disc golf disc that was highly sought after, and he auctioned it off. So whatever the highest amount paid for that disc was, Brody Smith actually matched it. That disc sold for $1,200. So Brody Smith matched another $1,200. That guy got a $2,400 donation to his GoFundMe to help with his wife's funeral expenses. And when I told Trav, I think I sent it to him, and when I checked, that GoFundMe didn't have a whole lot of donors, maybe like $500. I checked back a couple hours later, it was at over $36,000. So it just really goes to show how good that community is, and just, despite everything going on in the world, there's still very genuine people out there that are willing to help one another. And, I even did a nice thing too. It wasn't much, but I went to the GoFundMe and I donated $10, and I didn't say anything about it because, I even though I didn't know the guy personally, like I felt for him, you know what I mean? Like, that's not something I would ever want to experience. So like, I know, like I said, it wasn't much. There's people donating thousands of dollars, but I tossed $10 his way, and I actually kind of feel like it, that $10 actually kind of did make a difference in the long run, if you really think about it.
It's $10.
Yeah.
That's a whole $10, that he didn't have before. There's so many layers to stuff like that, and like things that can be said that I definitely probably don't have right now, but I think even like disc golf community, it seems to be like a really positive place to be and stuff, but there's good and bad sides to the internet.
Oh, of course.
And like me and Dustin have always kind of briefly discussed, like, the good things about the internet and what it can do. Like, if there was no internet, like, no one would find that out. No one would know he lost his wife, and like it just like the people behind social media and like creating that share button is just like the best, like one of the best things.
Yeah.
Like they could have added to any of that, because it's like it goes so far. And I mean, like I said, like if he wouldn't have shared it, it wouldn't have, it's probably a guarantee that it wouldn't have reached that number, but then you never know. But at the same time, it just like it's really it's quite mind blowing, honestly, how stuff like that works.
It is,
and I've always said stuff, out loud on the podcast before of like, little things make a difference. Even if it's just hitting share on someone's desperate need, it's like,
yeah.
I try to, I'm as bad as anybody else with skipping over certain things whenever, I could have taken extra time. But I think it's just all about like doing what you can to like see stuff through and just help others as much as you can. Because I mean, no matter what you guys believe, afterlife or not, whatever, either way, we have this one life. And
do something
make
good
it
with
matter,
it. Yeah, do something good with it.
Yeah, yeah.
You
like,
can't
make a change in someone's life because it's going to make you feel better too.
Yeah, and like I said, that was it. Like, sure, yeah, I would have, honestly, I would have donated more money if I would have had it, if I had it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, that's not something I ever want to experience. I'm getting married. I have 2 kids, and Tristan and I talk. Like we have conversations and kind of like the what ifs, or, what would you do if this happened? And I think every couple kind of has that, And she was like, "What would happen? Like what would you do if I wasn't here tomorrow?" And like, it was never a question that I was ever able to answer because I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know what that would ever be like, and I can't fathom what that guy is going through or what he is feeling. But somebody asked Brody during a live stream, how the GoFundMe was going, and I think it actually surpassed their goal. Like the goal got bumped up to like almost 70 grand. They blew past it. And the guy literally said, he was like, look, like, no, I'm not going to need all this money. He's like, but the money that I do have, like this is going to put my daughters through school. This is going to, this is going to help my kids. And that's what matters to me is helping my kids now, because they're all I have. And it's just, it's crazy. It's super crazy. But, the next thing we're going to talk about, it doesn't end on such a good note like this one did. And that has to deal with Nintendo. I don't know, Trav, if you've heard the news about Nintendo being fucking stingy and stupid lately.
Not really.
Okay, so Trav doesn't know. I'm surprised because Boogie actually made a video talking about it. 2 instances, things Nintendo did. One, I don't really give a fuck about the stupid Splatoon tournament thing that Nintendo fucking told them to stop doing. I don't know. I don't play Splatoon. I don't care. I'm not I love Nintendo. Like I grew up with Nintendos. I don't play it a lot now. So I don't give a fuck. But if you like Splatoon and you're into that thing, I'm really sorry. So sucks for you, I guess. But the other thing
sucks for you, like
yeah. Nintendo said fuck you in your Splatoon 2 tournament. The other thing is something that really, really irked me, and I think it irked a lot of other people in the community, whether you're like fans of like Nintendo or not, but it deals with a specific YouTuber whose name was Etika. I don't know if you guys know who Etika was, but he was a YouTuber, really big into like Nintendo and that whole scene, and he had this whole like thing he called the Joy-Con boys, right? Like that's what he called his people, and I don't think his channel ever like grew super big. I think he had like well over 200,000. I mean, which is big, but I don't think he ever made it into the millions. I could be wrong about that. But anyways, Etika at one point in time was kind of going through some stuff, and he became manic, right? Like he struggled with mental health. He became manic. He started having these episodes. He was calling himself the Antichrist. He was getting like arrested. He was going crazy. And again, because of mental health, he was mentally not okay, and he was open about that as well. But during these manic episodes where he's calling himself the Antichrist, people were so quick to jump the gun on the internet and just bully him and ridicule him for it, and not taking into consideration that it was a mental health issue, which ultimately led to Etika taking his own life.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking you were talking about the same guy that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Didn't they find him in like a pool or something, or water somewhere?
He lived in New York City, and he jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge. They found him in the river.
Yeah, I knew it was like some form of water somewhere, but yeah, I remember watching like his little last vlog thing where he's like already just like the way he's talking is just like he knows what he's gonna go do, and he was saying all this stuff that I was like, wow, like this is the kind of thoughts I would have if I was gonna kill myself. Would be like, man, all the movies I'm not gonna see, and he was like naming these movies that he was looking forward to seeing, but he's not gonna get to, and I was like, dang man, like come on.
And he was so calm about it too, and that's the most eerie thing about it. Like he knew, and it happened. He did it, unfortunately. But anyways, how this ties into Nintendo is there was somebody out there who was a fan of Etika, and I liked Etika's videos. I can't say that I was like a religious supporter who watched every single upload.
Unfortunately, I only found out about him after he died, unfortunately, but because I saw like all over YouTube right when it happened, like this guy, and I was like, oh, let me go check him out, and then kind of read into all that.
It's kind of weird how I stumbled across him, actually. Back when I was looking at computer, like gaming chairs like I have now, and desks, he like did a video talking about them, and I think that's actually why I got the chair I got and looked into other things. Like that's how I found him, and I was like, oh, he's cool. Like I subbed. Like I watch videos here and there. Again, like I didn't watch every single upload, but if I saw something that seemed interesting, I was like, oh, like I'll watch it. Anyways, a supporter of his created these custom Joy-Cons, right, to honor him. And they weren't even like Joy-Cons. They were shells, the plastic shells that go around the internals, like the buttons and stuff. Just the plastic shells that had a custom Etika theme to them. They were black and white. One said Joy-Con Boys. They were actually really fucking sweet. Had I would have known about them back then, I definitely would have got them, considering the money that was made off of these was all for charity. The guy making them did not profit. He was donating them to charities to help kids, teens, and young adults with mental health. He raised almost $30,000 for these charities, and Nintendo sent a fucking cease and desist letter to him and told him to stop all production on them because they were losing money.
Wow.
And let me put something into perspective for you guys, too. We're going to kind of get into some numbers here. Nintendo, their net worth...
One of the biggest game companies of all time.
They're
so what's
the
the
third
problem?
biggest company in Japan. The third biggest company in all of Japan. The third highest grossing company in all of Japan. They are worth $89 billion. $89 billion in 2020. And they were mad that somebody was taking their Joy-Cons, which they were making money off of, might I add. This guy was buying Joy-Cons and just custom painting the shells and selling the shells. And Nintendo sent a cease and desist letter.
Jeez.
Now, that pisses me off so bad because it's not like this guy was buying them and then upselling them for more money. But, dude, and the thing is you guys can Google Joy-Con shells, and you can find hundreds of websites, or if not hundreds of different listings of fucking custom shells that you can buy. Nintendo's not stopping that. They're not stopping these people that are profiting, but they're stopping somebody who was doing something for a good fucking cause. And I read that, and it fucking boiled my blood to the point that, like, I was honestly, I was going to get blocked on Twitter by Nintendo had I would have fucking put my thoughts into words that day. Because if I was a company right? And there was an influencer that was passionate about my product, that was super passionate about it, right? Say I was Nintendo, say I own Nintendo, right? And I see this, and I see these things going on, and or word gets to me that this happened. This guy, he lost his life. He was a big supporter of Nintendo and had this whole movement behind it. And he drove a lot of people to want to purchase my stuff. If I was Nintendo, I would have been like, okay, look, we're gonna make a special version of the Nintendo Switch, right? Custom, completely custom. We're only gonna make like 500 of them, okay? And all the money that we make is going to go to Etika's family, or is going to go to mental health awareness. Or what Nintendo even could have done is saw that this guy had this. They obviously saw this guy had a GoFundMe and raised almost 30 grand. The guy was trying to make $60,000. Nintendo, being an $89 billion corporation, could have easily matched 30K, or even donated more to this cause. That right there would have spoke volumes for them. But right now, that company is being fucking completely tore apart online over this, and I can see why. Like, it honestly makes me not want to ever purchase another Nintendo product again, ever, because someone
Right.
who is a mental health advocate, that just, it fucking pisses me off beyond belief. That's my thoughts on it.
Because they're not gonna read into it like any more than they have to, and they're just like, oh, I don't know, like it's like. Yeah, it is frustrating because it's like, why can't they see that, for one, he's actually buying from Nintendo, so like, it's like, what's the big deal?
Stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. That one takes the cake right there. It's just like, it's always interesting how like something affects something else. Like that dude died like a while back, and it's like, and just now something kind of is like wrinkled in time, if you want to say it like that.
Right. It almost like resurfaces something that shouldn't be resurfaced, because now the internet's in a fucking fury about it, and rightfully so. There are people
crazy.
literally out there cheating in games and modding games and hacking shit, and you're worried about somebody doing a charitable act?
Yeah, exactly.
Are we serious? I just can't fucking believe it. So Trav got Cyberpunk. Completely changing the subject now, because I'm getting mad just thinking about it, so we're going to get off that.
Yeah, I did. I customized my character, got to like somewhere with Jackie, and then like I had to go to bed, but well, actually no, I had to get off and watch because Mandalorian had dropped at 3 a.m. So I was like, okay.
Please tell me you gave your guy a fucking hammer.
Well, there was the version where you just like have underwear, and I don't know if that's just like for like censorship, sort of. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think about like 10-year-olds like popping in. Oh yeah, Cyberpunk 2077, mom, and then like the customization is like, oh, because like the first thing that I accidentally changed to was freaking female parts, and I was like, what is that? There's nothing that. Oh, and then I read what it was. And then,
it just straight up says vagina on the screen. I'm not even gonna lie.
But yeah, I just went ahead and like changed it to like one of the normal ones. But
oh, come on.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how much. I don't know how much like it'll play into anything though.
Oh, dude, you can stare at yourself. Listen, I'm gonna be honest.
Wait. Dustin started to say, but wait, you could stare at it in your mirror.
Like, yeah, dude, like, it's fucking dope. Like, how often, like, do
unless it's literally gonna be like some kind of like I'm trying to think off the top of my head how to say this. I'm really tired. Like some kind of benefit from like, because like in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you can like romance with people and stuff. You can go guy on guy, or like freaking like Ashley has been having a female Eivor like do guys and stuff, and it's just kind of funny because it's a thing that's like cuts to black and like you kind of get the gist.
No, Cyberpunk shows.
But Cyberpunk is like, unless it's literally gonna be like, oh, this one chick hates me more because I have regular size, and then like if I would have changed to the other one, it's like something I don't know, man. Like I just stuff like that is just like I don't
Oh, dude, I'm
care.
not. I'm not gonna lie, dude. My character's rocking a fucking baseball bat for a dick, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I think it's fucking hilarious. I was watching shit, like reading shit. People are making their favorite porn stars in there. And I feel like that's fucking awesome. Go you. You know?
It's kind of hilarious. I basically just went like sometimes I feel like when I try to make myself in games, it's never gonna be like exact, but I try to get to it like kind of, I guess sort of like, because in my opinion they didn't really have like my beard, but so I gave him the like kind of longer one. This is like very very chiseled, like exactly trimmed, like nice, where it's like makes your like chin look like you're freaking Batman or something. But I gave him that beard with like a normal face and everything, and then I gave him like the slightest reddish brown beard because that's accurate to me.
Oh, I didn't try to make
Like
myself. I just.
it's weird because in the customization screen it didn't really, I didn't feel satisfied like, oh, this looks like me, but I was just giving up. It was one of those things where you customize for so long and then you're just like, okay, everything else is fine, just like you're just kind of like, all right, let's just get this going. Because I spent like a good like 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, probably 45 minutes customizing. And like, I don't know, like, I was torn because I was like, do I want to be like just me and like to go close as me as possible, but just cyberpunk version of me, like where it's like not exactly me, but kind of. Or do I want to go all out with the craziest thing ever? Because I think on my next character, I already know I'm going to play it 3 times because I'm going to try every single, like, the faction thing.
Oh,
Whatever you call
absolutely.
it. And, like, I'm not going to lie. When I changed over to that huge, like, there's like 2 versions of it, like big emo hair, I was like,
Oh, I thought
I
I didn't know
want
we
to,
were talking about
I
hair.
want to rock that. But I don't at the same time. Like, so I've already kind of decided next character, I'm just going to go really weird with it. Like, color my hair and, like, I don't know. But, I don't know. First time, though, I just wanted to, like, see how accurate I can get. But it's interesting. I haven't got to any point in the game where I'm experiencing what other people are. Like my buddy Phil, his game crashed like 5 times, so he's like, "I'm giving up." And and I'm hearing all this stuff. I know Yongya was whatever you say his name on YouTube. He has like a 20-minute video that I haven't watched yet, but I want to about PlayStation and Xbox, like all around, no matter what console, everyone's having issues. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know. Maybe this is just a theory that I'm just jumping off of, like right here while I record, just thought of it. Is what if that's just like more so the new console? Because like so far,
I haven't had
I
any
haven't
issues.
had any issue on regular Xbox One.
I'm on an original Xbox One, and I've had no issues.
Because that's just got me thinking like, what if they keep blaming it? Like, what if they keep blaming? Because you know the headlines right now, like PlayStation and Xbox, Cyberpunk 2077 is having a lot of bugs and a lot of craziness. People are gonna read into that like, no, okay, then that's all around. Well, actually, like AC Valhalla, it came out on the PS4 and Xbox One, just like Cyberpunk did this. So I don't know. Maybe like those like little bit of better graphics, 60 frames per second on the next gen. Maybe that's what's doing it. I don't know. So far I've had basically nothing. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully it can be one of those things where it gets fixed, or it can be like Valhalla where they fixed a lot of stuff, but there's some bugs, but it's so good of a game. Like, it's a really great story and really great everything, and this is coming from an Assassin's Creed fan, but at the same time, like, I recognize that this is, like, back to the old games and kind of, like, mixing in some of the new stuff. That game has bugs, but it's so forgiven. Like, everybody that's played it is, like, loved it. I've not seen one person hate on it. So it's just one of those things, and with this situation, it might be, like, I don't know. I've also heard Cyberpunk is like really short with main story, but I mean, to me, I guess that's just the way of like, you can spend more time going through the other storylines.
There's so much stuff you can do though. Like there's so many side
literally
quests.
like every little like every other sentence is like a dialogue choice, and I love that it's not like Assassin's Creed where you're standing there and you have to make the choice and time's sort of freezing in a sense. It's just like right there with it. You choose what you say in first person. It's different, and I really like it. I'm noticing that like everything you say kind of like you go along a path, like other things can happen. So even if you play it, even if you started over on a new character, but you still picked your same like storyline, you could still do the game differently, even like that. So that's mind-blowing to think of all these different possibilities. Like, I'm not even that far in, and I'm already like, oh, like, you know, what did I do here that I could have done differently? So it's crazy. Maybe they can fix it, and it can actually be a nice, polished experience.
I mean, it's definitely going to have a lot of replay value. They're in the DLC. This is another thing I don't think people are really well aware of. All the DLC coming out like next year, it's all free. Like, how often are you going to get a AAA title like this that is this hyped up? You know, where they can, I mean, listen, this game is so hyped up they could milk the fuck out of their profit, but they're like, no, free DLC, baby, let's go.
And I do not regret getting the disc at all because I was so happy to see that it has so much little cool stuff.
I was just about to say that to you. I was like, for being like even just the standard
and
edition.
I didn't know
guys,
that. I was just doing it out of convenience.
You get stickers. You get like a month trial to HBO Max. Their normal trial is like a week.
I was like, yeah, I'm saving that for the Snyder Cut. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean, by then I'll have like my DirecTV. I just don't want to brag about it, but it's going to be free. Free HBO Max. Get on my fucking level, baby. I'm just kidding. But I mean, it came with what, like 3 postcards. It came with stickers. It came with a map. It came with like a copiendum. Like, it came with so much shit that normally stuff like that you would be paying like roughly like $70 to $80 for like the midline edition for some games. You get this for $60. You really can't complain. I mean, I won my copy in a giveaway, so I didn't have to spend my money on it. But still, like it was very refreshing to see that. And I was shook as fuck when I saw 2 discs, by the way. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I just knew that straight from Red Dead. And I knew that it would... I knew exactly how... Because this is exactly what Red Dead 2 did. Insert disc 1. Install for a while. And then it'll tell you, insert disc 2. And then I had a feeling, disc 2 ain't going to be the game. It's going to make me put in disc 1. Because that's exactly what Red Dead 2 had. As I got that disc as well whenever I was planning to go digital even with that game. But that didn't work out. And, yeah, I, like, no regrets at all. Like,
Trista pointed me something out about the case.
I was so happy. I was just thinking, like, if I had Cyberpunk digitally, I would not be opening this game up and, like, be experiencing, like, wow, look at this and look at this. There's a big freaking Night City map that I haven't even opened all the way up yet, but I'm excited to look at it.
And the box art's great.
Because that's amazing. Like, since when do we ever get maps with games? Like, it's been since, like, I think... No, Red Dead 2 didn't come with a map, but Red Dead 1 did in 2010. So that's the last, and like Skyrim and all those. So, yeah.
Trista pointed something out about the guy on the case, and I can't unsee it now. She asked me if it was Justin Timberlake, and the more I look at it, I see it.
Honestly, I think the girl would have been cooler, because if you look on the inside of the case, there's like a little backdrop of like the female version.
You can actually get that. I think some places had selections. I think Best Buy was one, actually. You got like a steelbook case with it.
But you could also pops more because her like hair's all crazy and like different colored. So it's like, I don't know. I think that's what this game feels like. Is it's a lot of colors and neon. Love it though. I mean, so far I haven't seen much of the city, but and the only reason I got this is because
of me.
where I was shopping, I'll just say, didn't have Miles Morales on PS4. They have it on PS5 right now, and I'm like, dang it. But at the same time, and then I talked to Ashley about it because, you know, like my Xbox is her home Xbox, so whatever I get, she gets, and she's still playing Valhalla right now, and I just kind of talked to her about it because I know she wanted Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated for the longest time.
Great
she actually
game.
Recently was playing that on PS2.
Great game.
And she was very excited when they announced the remaster. We literally were like, she was playing that, and then, like, it was one of those small world things, like, then they announced the remaster.
Yeah, you talked about that on the podcast that time, because we got into the subject on that game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, like I said, I've slept since so many days. But I remembered she didn't have it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna kind of sweeten the deal. And I was like, babe, be careful if I get Cyberpunk on disc. If I get you SpongeBob, and I mean, she would have been fine with it, even if I didn't get SpongeBob. But yeah, it was like maybe $20, but I had a discount for 1 day, one-time purchase. So I'm like, if I don't get a game, because literally, if I would have just got like groceries and stuff, like that would be it. Like I couldn't come back. It was one time. So I was like, if I don't put like a game or two in this deal, I'm gonna regret it. So I was gonna get Miles Morales because I know I'm gonna get the Series X first. I'm not that worried about PS5 yet, so it's like
Same.
I knew, and I looked it up. I'm like, okay, Miles Morales is on PS4, but they don't have it. And I know they're trying to like push the like, okay, it's on PS5 though. Here, get the new console. Like, I get it. I don't know if that's why. I'll have to check the other one that is this store in town because I want it. Like I want to play that and I don't want to wait on PS5. So yeah, you know, it's weird about Miles Morales because I've heard like nothing. Like I haven't really gone out of my way to like look at reviews and stuff, but maybe I should, but I don't hear anyone saying anything bad or good. So it's kind of got me like, is it just like kind of a carbon copy but with like but with just kind of a new story that maybe not be as long or something. I was worried that Miles Morales would just be like Spider-Man on PS4, but like 1.5 or something like that. Like not even like a really good sequel.
Yeah,
because it was pretty recent when we had that one.
I haven't heard much about it either, and that's kind of like, if I do get it, I mean, I'm gonna get it on PS4 because again, like you, I'm not super worried about the PlayStation.
It's snowy
5.
in New York City, which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't even watched anything on it because I kind of wanted to I want to experience it myself.
Yeah.
But you know, like
Maybe I'll look up the Before You Buy from GamerX because they
I
do
love
a good
that.
job
That series is great. Like, and I still want to play Ghost of Tsushima too, and that's a game that I haven't.
You're gonna love that game. Speaking of that, did I even tell you that I got a 4K TV?
I didn't even. You finally got a 4K TV?
I did. It's funny because it was the night before Black Friday, and Ashley was at Target, and she like literally called me while I was at work, and she's like, "Here's this picture of this." Like it wasn't in the plan at all. Like she just happened to go to Target. And we have a 50-inch 1080p, but this was a 55-inch 4K with the Roku and all that built in. Amazing, just absolutely. And long story short, we got that, and it barely fit on the entertainment center. I was telling her, thank God we didn't go all out with like 70, 80 or something, because like the legs on that thing is like really close to on both edges. It's insane how that worked out. Love it. Been enjoying Mandalorian in HDR. Like, come on.
It's crazy, isn't it? It changes your life.
Yeah. But something about Ghost of Tsushima that I was mind blown by, because some of y'all may not know, whatever. I did Twitch stream it. I didn't Twitch like the whole ending or anything. I just got to a point where I'm like, I'm just gonna play this. I cannot stream it, but I loaded up Tsushima. Like I did like the first night of the 4K TV. I was just loading up all these games. I was just curious, what does this look like, on like in HDR and stuff. So, good thing about the PS4 Pro is I don't know for all games, I don't know, but it pretty much is like default to put games on your screen in HDR. So, loaded up Tsushima, and just like my old save, and my jaw dropped. Like like I loaded up Spider-Man, and Spider-Man was like, this looks good, but it's not like a huge difference. But Ghost of Tsushima from 1080p to 4K was totally different. Like, I was mind blown. It also might have been because I haven't seen the game in a while, and when your eyes just kind of like readjust to a new game, and plus I'd been playing Valhalla, so Valhalla looks good, but it looks kind of stupid in certain areas. I don't know how to explain that, but like, it looks great and then it doesn't. It's kind of weird, but maybe because of that too, where I was like used to these like graphics that aren't like, you know, just absolutely amazing. It's like standard Ubisoft graphics. But Tsushima was on another level. Like, just right where I saved is like this area with the freaking trees and stuff were like these fall colors and everything. And I mean, just like, I was in awe because I've never, you know, the grass in that game is like the best grass of any. Like, it really is, like, because it's freaking Japan and it's so accurate to those big blades of grass on those hillsides. Like, I was blown away. So I owe that game a replay in 4K. Absolutely. I plan to do that because, geez. And plus the game's just so good that I just want to re-experience it. I may touch it up a notch on the difficulty. I'm not sure. I was also trying Kurosawa mode on it, which is like in the black and white and all that with the film grain. And then I took that off and tried Japanese instead. The only problem with the Japanese is like I love it because I love the Japanese language and how it sounds and stuff, but the only issue is they made the game in English so it doesn't go with their lips. How ironic. Like, it's just kind of like, but it's like just enough where it might not be too distracting, but it was a little bit. I was like, that's kind of pulling me out of the game right now in the cutscenes and all that. So, because you want to be immersed. And,
right.
I don't know. Man, it's starting to rain hard. It's been raining off and on all day.
We're getting scattered showers tomorrow. But you know what, man? Tomorrow, I'm so excited to go play disc golf. I just got a freaking mystery box in the mail. Got some really sweet shit. It's on my disc golf channel if you wanna watch that. Also, we've been doing TikTok.
Oh yeah, I forgot we've been doing TikTok because honestly, I haven't even made a freaking TikTok in a minute. But yeah, we'll leave that in. Oh my god, more to the scroll of the description.
More to the scroll.
We'll add our TikTok. I guess is it called channels? I don't know. TikTok channels in the description. I don't know, man. Last one I made was that, like, being a YouTuber be like, you know, the 95% processed, and I had to throw in Sweet Victory from SpongeBob, and it just, I'm learning TikTok. Like, it's totally, like, I feel so lost on the editing. I'm like, okay, and then, like, I finally kind of got it down, but I'd have it more down if I made, like, TikToks, like, every day or something, but I still have to go back and, like,
it's still weird for me
it.
too. Yeah, I can do very basic stuff.
Like editing the music, because I didn't even want Sweet Victory to play all the way from the beginning, but then I was like, I can only like slide it over where I want, and there's no like, I don't know if there's a way to cut down music. Like, I don't know. Or to only play at a certain point in the video. That was what was bothering me, so I got to figure out that. And every video that I looked up about that was people just saying, here's how you add music. TikTok.
Like,
I'm like,
no,
that's not what I mean. It's
I
like
need
one
to
of those
time this
things
at a
where,
certain point.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, kind of just diving into that world. Like, me and Dustin were blown away by how, like, overnight you just get basically like 200 views. Okay, like it just like
it's crazy.
It's so weird to go from YouTube to that because you're like thinking, well, heck, I could have been doing this, but like, I could have been doing this for like 8 years, man. Like, what's it?
It's crazy. You use certain hashtags, man, and it blows up. I think I've grown faster on TikTok.
I had a guy comment on my inspirational one that was like, "Thank you for this nice message" or something. I was like, "See, I somehow made someone's day in some way, like a little bit brighter." So that's kind of what I'm going to use TikTok for, is like incorporate my channel, but also like. Just try to like, because I have that humorous side that I do in my videos with zoom ins and stuff, and I kind of want to just like take that and just do that. But like channel wise and stuff, I have no idea except for just like doing little clips of my video to be like, hey, go check it out. You know, no one's gonna actually listen to that and actually click, but you know what? It's there. That's the point.
Right.
Is it's there. So I guess I'll go into my little thing real quick.
Yes,
almost
go ahead.
it's kind of it's back to it's not really negative. It's not as negative as any of the other stuff, but it's definitely something that's like it's something that I personally am working on as just an adult living in 2020, and that's first I'm gonna take a drink. Hang on. Orange citrus kickstart. Anybody? Mountain Dew. I've been having the mango lime way too much, so I got tired of that. And like, you know what? I haven't had the orange one in so long. But I'm trying to remember how I was gonna start it. Okay, so let me just start it by saying this one line, and that is, it's gonna sound so stupid. Roads go both directions, to you and away from you.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as like a legit, like, oh, like that's some weird metaphor. Like, no, I literally mean like when people, and Dustin, I don't know if you have like people, you probably do, but, I'm assuming that you'll agree with like how my opinion on this thing, but I don't know, man, just like the whole like family and like friends and like people, you know, and not everyone in my family and stuff do this, but I feel it. Like I feel the like disappointment with people when stuff like this happens. Like months go by and I haven't seen them. You know, and it's just one of those things. Like Ashley, like shout out to my wife because she's who inspired my opinion on this now, and like I'm bringing it to you guys, so I'm not gonna just sit here and take all the credit. Like she is the one that said, like, because I just kind of vented to her about I just have this thing, like I said, that I'm working on, where it's like I just feel guilty, and it's not like all the time. It's just like I feel bad sometimes for just being so busy. Like me and Dustin are like, you know, for guys that are you know, as young as us, we're busy people. Like we got things going on
all the time,
and it's kind of hard to like put other people. I'm not saying, and I'm sure that your opinion on it is like, you know, Trista and the kids, like they're right here in front of me, so they come first. Also because you love them, but it's like, but there is kind of that like to take your version of it and like I don't know how to even word any of this. Like switching it over to me is like I do put my life first because I'm living and breathing it. I'm in my apartment, like, and I'm going to work and everything, and I'm just kind of quote unquote doing me. And I don't know. Mainly the inspiration I'm trying to share with you guys is don't let anyone have any, what do you want to say, salt on you. Like, don't let anybody like, oh, you never come down. And then I'm like,
yeah.
Do you have a car? Yes. Can you drive to me? Yes. Now, I understand, okay? You should be able to have it in your heart and soul sometimes to, I call it, be the better man and go see your parent or whoever. It don't matter. Like, you know, you can have an aunt or uncle that's basically like father or mother figures, and it'd be the same situation. Can't make Thanksgiving, you know, like, gotta do this or that, you know, and there's just this like disappointment from people, and I just think it's important for you to have that peace of mind of like, because I'm not the guy that's gonna be like, well, F them, you know, like I can act like that all day long, but in my heart I actually do feel like, you know, like, cause you you want to make people happy, but don't stress yourself out like crazy like I've done most of my life to do that. Like I'm still learning. I'm still learning to just like whatever about things, cuz sometimes you just got to let stuff go. And and when it comes to like drama and all that with my family, I don't like that's one of those things like they know me as like he ain't gonna like Trev ain't gonna pay attention to that because the more craziness you start with me or around me, the more like reclusive I'll be about it. Like, oh, go over here, never mind. You know, and I'm not even talking about like, oh, your family and stuff's like causing drama and all this stuff. Like, I just mean like just generally like your family are good people and they want to see you and they want to hang out. They want to plan a day to hang out or whatever. Well, roads drive both ways. And when Ashley told me that to my face, because I was venting about all this, and she's like, like I go and see my grandparents all the time, because what Ashley does is she'll dedicate a whole day. Because, put in perspective, guys, we live about 30, 40 miles away from our hometown. And that's where everyone else is. That's where Ryan is. That's where my parents are. That's where her parents a little bit closer to us than that, but either way, they're all that direction.
Right.
And so I'll go to work and stuff, and she'll just dedicate a whole day to going and seeing her mom and her stepdad and everything, and her sister and all of them. And I mean, it's just like, I'm not saying anything. And you know what? If any of her family listen to this, I do not mean anything by this when I say this, but you can also go to her. And I'm not saying that she feels negative about any of this. She doesn't feel as strongly as I do about any of this, but she did make that point to me. Like, I've went and seen my grandparents, and like, I'll just say out loud sometimes, and I've seen her do this in front of me. I'll just say, she's like, her grandparents said something like, well, we're so glad. They're very like nice and talkative. They're like, we're so happy y'all are here. This is so cool. Like, they're just very like, they're outgoing like that. Like, they just say weird things, but just like, it's so cool that you're here. Thank you for coming. And then Ashley said like, yeah, well, no one ever comes to our city. Like, it just like, she's right. Like, it really, like, that's a thing. Like, man, I could like go off and bash some people right now, but I'm just.
It's kind of the same situation, man. I mean, especially like around this time of year too with the holidays.
I'm just saying, people complain about it, but they don't be the better person and like go out of their way. Like, my dad and stuff never says like, let me come down there, like, ever. And it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. But like, my family can be like that too, where it's like, I love my grandparents to death. And they're constantly like, oh, what are you guys doing for Christmas? Or what are you doing here? Or, what are you doing this day? And it's like, come out here. Now, like, my grandparents live. They're not like super far away. I mean, probably like good 20, 25 minutes, And it's always like, come out here and do this and come out here and do that. And we're kind of like, sometimes like,
just, you don't want to go sometimes, man. It's just like,
it's not that we don't want to go, but like Trista's like, we can do stuff here too. You know what I mean? Like, we can have people over here too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
that's
totally.
What I struggle with.
Get
I think about the other people. Like, why can't they? Like, why do I gotta struggle mentally with this? They're not. They're fine. I know they ain't losing sleep over this. I'm not either, but it's just like, to use it in a term like losing sleep, like, it just, I don't know. I've just come to accept like people think how they think and the world's how it is, and there's just like there's a selfishness upon families and friends. It just is. That's just is how it is. And I'm always trying to kind of step out of my bounds to, like, I don't know. I don't, I could say that, but it sounds like I'm putting myself on a pedestal too much. So I'll just say, no, I don't do enough, actually. The complete honest truth is I don't go out of my way that much to see them and all this stuff. I know, and my mom's, like, really got bad health and stuff, and I wish I could see her more, because if I live to be old, then that means she's got to go at some point, and it's I think she's had a lot of health problems, and I'm not saying she's on her, like, last leg right now, but I mean, like, if you want to use a term for that, then yeah, technically. But it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things that's, like, kind of a festering thought that's just, like, that's just frustrating. Like, it's not like, oh, yeah, like I said, losing sleep, but it's just, like, that particular, because that's the way I think. I think about the small stuff, and, it was just one of those thoughts. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw this into the podcast, because it's just, like, it's a thing that's been an off and on issue with me, like, my whole life or something, where it's like, I got married. Before that, I lived with her and everything, and it just, like, and I just simply live far away now. And the thing is like, I love this city a million times more than my hometown. It's amazing compared to the food and everything, but you know what? No one wants to come here. And it's just like, and let me correct myself there. Ryan comes down all the time. Respect the living heck out of him for making the drive all the time. Ryan's the only one that's, like, will actually, we'll help each other make a legit plan on a day. He'll come on a weekday, even though he's got to work the next day. And with me, I ain't doing that. Like, I just, like, it depends on the situation for stuff like that. So I respect him for really putting effort in just to, like, literally go eat or something and hang out for a few hours and then go at, like, 1 a.m. It just, I don't know, and it's just like, and it's crazy how, like, your friends will do more, but that's the thing, is, like, I don't try to expect things from people. I've always kind of had that belief in my head, like, don't expect things in return from people. It's just, like, not the way to live. And yeah, it's just one of those things, like, I just, I feel like it's one of those things, like, with my dad and stuff, it's like, I've tried to put my 2 cents in, like, come on, like, I'm trying to, like, talk to you, and it's just, I don't know, there's something back, but it's like, because he loves me, but it's like, sometimes I'm just like,
do you?
Like, Dad, just hit me up. Like, just hit me up and be like,
right.
Do you want to go eat or something? You know what I mean? Like, I have to always be the one to start a conversation like that, And it's like, I don't know. I'm done with that. Were you trying to say something?
I was going to say, Ryan, if you made it this far, I appreciate you for being a good friend to Trav. For, like, Ryan, you're just a cool dude. And honestly, one day we're all going to meet together.
At the end of this podcast, we're just going to make Ryan feel good for a few minutes.
Dude, I love it, man. Like Ryan will, like, very randomly hit me up on Facebook. Hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, like, nothing much, man. What's good with you? He's like, oh, nothing good, man. Really enjoying the podcast. I'm like, thank you, dude. You're freaking awesome. And it's like, Ryan is just, he's a good guy. I appreciate Ryan.
I was about to say, no, you should correct yourself, because the way he talks is not like us at all. It's more like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, I know.
He's got such a deep voice, man.
He does.
That I wish I had, honestly.
I know. Like, I hear, like Ryan talking videos. I'm like, damn, I sound like a bitch. Like,
yeah, it's like, it's so, like, in videos, I'm like, he is definitely the standout, like, voice out of these two. I don't know what I was even gonna say there, but anyway, man, you got, like, a recommendation?
My recommendation is going to be kind of what we talked about earlier. Just know that there are people out there that are really going through it personally, and find it in your heart to be a decent person and maybe try to do something positive. It doesn't, like, I donated to a cause, like I said, it doesn't have to be anything like that. Even if you just go out of your way and you see something on social media, whether it's somebody that you know personally or not, and they're going through a hard time, again, just hitting that share button can make a world of difference to somebody. So just please, just go out there, and if you see something like that, just try to be a generous person, because I promise you that even if you're having the worst day, if you can do something so small and so simple and it makes somebody's day better, that should make your day better too. That's my recommendation. Do something good for somebody.
And mine is just going back to what I just said. Just know this one line, and that is, roads drive
Both ways.
Yeah, I was like, is that right? It was like, yeah, roads drive both directions. Just know that, like, if someone else isn't putting their 2 cents into that energy of, like, but they're verbally saying, like, man, I want to see you, and, like, well, make the plan with me. Make an effort instead of, like, me having to, like, do stuff, and, like, like, just the family and stuff that almost don't understand how you don't have the time. And it's like, dude, like, and something I tried to mention inside of that conversation was, like, look at it like this. I'm married, I've got a job, I've got, like, a freaking channel, and, like, it just, like, there's a lot, like, and that seems just like a few things, but it's a lot to keep up with all the time. And so, like, on top of that, like, oh, like, plan, like, a day so that make them feel better? No. Like, your friends and family need to put the same effort that they're expecting you to. That right there. That's exactly what I could have said the whole time, and not even, like, I could have just said that. And that makes a lot more sense. Anyway, guys, we love you. Really, we do. Like, sincerely, like, you guys, like, you guys are a specific audience. Like, I know you guys out there, Oro and everybody else. Yes, I shouted you out again, Oro.
We love
it's
Oro.
like, y'all are just the best. I didn't expect to create, like, a little bit of a following, even with the podcast, so quickly. Like, this is episode 42, I think.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's crazy.
We're gonna
50,
do something
guys.
special.
Let's get to
special
50.
For 50. Yes.
Oh, and by the way, thank you for 60 subscribers. I totally forgot to ever mention that.
Next week, guys.
And that's
potentially
amazing.
Next week. Special guest. Special episode. Be ready.
Yes.
If you guys have paid attention to the internet at all, yesterday, what was yesterday's date? The what the hell? What was yesterday's date? The 10th?
Yeah.
If you guys paid attention to the internet on the 10th and you are fans of Star Wars, then you will know that is all I am going to say. So stay tuned for next week. Special guest. We love him dearly. I love his old covers on his Facebook that he posts.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
And may the Force be with you, and we'll be talking to you guys next time.
See ya.